Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, let's talk about it, shall we? I'm at the Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host.
Welcome back to the Cult Classic Kids Show.
Tommy. So, it's happened yesterday. Recording it the day of, but I'm not probably putting this out for until the next day or the day after. But I'm gonna give my thoughts on Sony's September State of Play. And don't focus on the hair. I pretty much shaved it off so I can just do a clean regrow. So I'm not going fucking bald, okay? Just pump your brakes.
Hey, Baldy! Hey, there might be hope for you.
My hair is just naturally thin. I've always had thinner hair. So don't fucking hate. Anyway, let's jump into it, shall we? We start off with probably the most confusing and lackluster start, I think, of any State of Play or Direct or anything that's showcasing video games. And that starts off with a game that's known as Baby Steps. And I'm sure there's probably a market out there for someone.
But I will say that game Baby Steps, it did look pretty funny. It did. I'm a little bit interested in this game because it's so bizarre.
But I think for the vast majority, who's really interested in this game? Who is this game really made for?
That game Baby Steps, it did look pretty funny. It did.
I mean, you go from Baby Steps into a pretty big announcement after that, which is Roblox finally coming to PlayStation. And I think that would have been a way better intro to the State of Play because Roblox, I don't play it. I think it's silly, but it's for children. And a lot of children play Roblox. I think that would have been a bigger introduction to the State of Play than Baby Steps. So anyways, yeah, Roblox is finally coming. I'm sure fanboys are not happy about that, nor do they care. Or maybe they do. I don't want to speak for them. But after Roblox, we got the Resident Evil 4 DLC. It looks great. It looks really good. That's a thumbs up for that. That's probably the first positive thing that I've seen from the State of Play. Then we go into Avatar. Of course, for me, I wasn't too hyped about this game until the gameplay started coming out and the visuals. It's going to be a day one buy for me, of course. I don't know what I'm going to buy it on for. I don't know if it's going to be a PlayStation 5 purchase for me or if it's going to be a PC purchase for me. I don't have a Series X, so it would be pointless to buy it for that because I've played games on the Series S. They're very, very much downgraded, and I would rather play games on my PC or the PS5. Moving on from that, Ghost Runner 2. It looks all right. I don't think too many people were really excited about the first Ghost Runner. It seems like it's like a AA type game, which it still seemed pretty solid from what I've seen. So, I mean, that was pretty positive from the State of Play. And let me preface, if you didn't know, they clearly put in the briefing the day before that they were going to focus on third-party and indie games, which technically they did, but they've also shoved a lot of first-party in. I honestly, I feel like this whole State of Play was just thrown together out of desperation. That's really how it felt. And that's not coming from a place of hate or anything. It's coming from a place of criticism. It felt like it wasn't focused. It felt like it was just thrown together, like they needed to do something. But anyways, after Ghost Runners 2, they decide to show new hardware colors. I don't know who that's for either. I mean, just the launch of the system you couldn't even find a PlayStation 5. It's just recently, the past probably maybe 9 months, 10 months, they've become way more available. But from that time till now, we not only have, the Spider-Man bundle, which is a whole new PlayStation, or you can buy the plates and the Spider-Man controller, but now we have these 3 new ones. And it's like, who really cares? Anyways, moving on from that, we had Helldivers 2. It looks really good, but here's the thing that I didn't like about this. It seems like it's going to be a very interesting co-op shooter, survival shooter. But the way they presented the trailer, this is just a tip for dev companies and PR departments of dev companies, or whoever greenlights this type of stuff. Putting in like fake party chat or whatnot is not the move, and it comes across very cringy when companies do this shit. And the more important thing is, people are not going to play these games this way. That's just not going to happen. I know that they're trying to do it to showcase the game, how it could be played or should be played, but in reality, no one's going to play the game like that. It's very unfortunate. So, I mean, the only advice that I would give coming from my consumer perspective is just don't do that. It's not a good look for the game. Other than the cringy banter back and forth, the game looks solid. I mean, I liked it. So that's good. Then we move on to Spider-Man 2. It's pretty much more of the same. They showed that you can get up to like 62 suits or something ridiculous like that, which is cool. I'm not going to complain about that. That's awesome. But what is the avenue? What's the requirement for you to be able to unlock these suits? Is it going to be more backpack fetching? Is it going to be more collecting of items? Like, I don't know. It's just, I think we saw enough in the first state of play earlier this year. I think we honestly saw a little bit too much, in my opinion. I think they spoiled a few things, but I mean, they just kind of dumped a lot of content involving this game in not only this section, but they ended the state of play with a lot more like content dumping, and I'm just like, dude, it seemed like they're really relying on this Spider-Man 2 stuff. And that's what made me start thinking like it seems like this is just thrown together, because right from Spider-Man 2, and aside from, them showing the near instant fast travel, people are toting this around, as I see on Twitter/X, that people are saying, especially fanboys, oh, it's instant fast travel because of the PlayStation hardware and so on. It's not. They clearly say that it's near instant, because when you do the fast traveling, it goes into a small cutscene.
Introduce the ability to switch between the 2 wall crawlers in the open world. And thanks to the power of the PlayStation 5, you can make that switch almost instantly.
I don't know if, you noticed that, or the IQ was just too, low to notice this, or even not read it where they said it's near instant, but it's near instant. It's not completely instant. But going in from the Spider-Man 2 info and content dump, we got some Tales of Arise DLC, which I think was pretty cool. I played a little bit of Tales of Arise. I own the game, so I need to go and play more of it and catch up, play the game in general. But there's so much stuff that's coming out. It's just like that's put on into the backlog. You know what I mean? But yeah, they showed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which was really good. That is kind of where they should have ended it, I think, with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But prior to that, they showcased Foam Stars. Listen, games like this are meant for younger children, and I completely understand that. But it's unfortunate that it's coming from a PlayStation studio, because I don't see it being supported. And it's very unfortunate. If it was on a platform like Nintendo, I would see it being supported way more. But it coming from PlayStation, they're just not known for that type of stuff, so I don't see it being successful at all.
I actually think Foam Stars is going to surprise a lot of people. Everybody's hating on it, calling it stupid, calling it like, you know, Splatoon wannabe, and it's like, but you understand you can't play Splatoon anywhere else. So there's plenty of people that'll probably, I think folks are going to dig it.
And it's a blatant ripoff of Splatoon. Like, it's not going to be successful. I really think that this is going to be one of those epic failures, unfortunately. But yeah, they showed a lot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which, I mean, I'm all for Final Fantasy VII. But it's going to be on 2 discs. The performance, looked like the performance of the first half of the game, which is kind of weird because I understood that because it was on PlayStation 4 and then moved to PlayStation 5. But to my knowledge, I believe this is going to be just a PlayStation 5 game. So why are we not utilizing the hardware? I don't understand it. I didn't get it, but I'm pretty excited for that. It's not coming out until February of next year, so, got a little time to wait, but there's plenty of games coming out in the meantime to play. Aside from, Spider-Man 2, we got the Crew Motorfest, we got, what else we got? We got Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out. Mortal Kombat 1 just dropped, so there's some things. Alan Wake 2's coming out, so there's still a lot of bangers that I think are coming out to finish out the end of this year. But yeah, the state of play it's in my opinion, it was pretty
mid.
It felt like it was more reactionary versus showcasey. And if you're doing a state of play from your brand, you should be showing, I think, off more things that you are focused on. And we didn't see anything about the PlayStation Portal. I know that's coming out. It's, I understand that, but there was nothing about that hardware. And that's a pretty new piece of tech. I would imagine they would spend a little bit more time, maybe a little bit more details on what that device can do, will do, maybe some different features that it might offer versus here's new colors of our hardware. If that's part of that's taking up some minutes of your state of play, I don't think that's a good look. But hey, that's just me coming from my perspective. It is what it is. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Do all the things. And as always, it's been your boy, it's been real, and I am out. Later.
I'm at the